What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So I don't know whether or not you will see this information dispensed much outside of certain non-mainstream sites. But Google has long been accused of racial bias when it comes to their employees. And a leaked spreadsheet seems to confirm this accusation. So I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comments section below. A leaked Google spreadsheet reveals that black employees of Google earn on average $20,000 less than their white colleagues. A leaked Google spreadsheet has revealed that black employees at Google made $20,000 less on average than their white coworkers. Insider obtained an internal Google spreadsheet with over 12,000 U.S. staff reporting their annual salaries in 2022. The data covers software engineers, business analysts, salespeople, and legal counsel roles. The data sheet found that black staff at Google tend to make $20,000 less than their white coworkers, with $147,000 going to black workers and $170,000 going to white workers. So the disparity is actually on average $23,000. White staff also got $40,000 more in equity than the black team, while white workers getting $92,000 in equity and black workers getting $50,500. Bonuses also differed, with white workers getting $31,140 on average in bonuses, while their black counterparts received about $25,000. Indigenous and Hispanic staff also made less than their white and Asian co-workers. So this is not just a black and white issue. This is a minority issue outside of white and Asians. It also found disparities between women's and men's salaries. So there's also a gender gap, with men making more in every sector except the direct sales role, where females made a significant amount more. Employees who have been at the company longer and worked at a higher level tend to have higher salaries, which tends to be the norm, and I think it should be that way. And cities such as New York had higher wages than Colorado and Georgia. Google spokesperson Tamani, as I attempt to say this name. Google spokesperson Tamani Hayasinje said, "We compensate Googlers based on what they do, not who they are. We want a rigorous pay equity analysis every year to make sure salaries, bonuses, and equity awards are fair. This spreadsheet has old self-reported data that has not been verified and is not an accurate representation of compensation across our workforce." Well, you know, she may say that, all right, but at the same time, I'm talking about this as, look, Google owns YouTube, right? I think most content creators on YouTube will tell you, who are black and who haven't totally sold their souls to the devil, will tell you that they've encountered things that seem to be issues that only minorities have to deal with on Google. Having your videos flagged, say, for hate speech, when, for instance, you're talking about factual information, when you're not using slurs, but you're talking about actual factual information. Whereas I've seen people who are not black talk about things on YouTube that are obviously racist, use racial slurs, and their videos have not been taken down. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen videos where people refer to black people as monkeys, apes, chimps, and you flag it and nothing happens. That doesn't seem to be just you know what I'm saying? There's something wrong with the system. There's something wrong. And at the end of the day, look, people have innate biases. You could say we pay people based on experience and da. But hey, like we see with affirmative action, you can look at a person's name oftentimes and guess their ethnicity. Sometimes, especially when it comes to people who are Indian, Native American, oftentimes black will use ethnic sounding names. So, yeah, there are ways to discriminate against people. And if race doesn't matter, then why is race and sex asked when you're hiring people? If race and sex doesn't matter, then why is that even important when you're hiring someone? Because oftentimes we're trying to fill quotas. So, you can't sit up there and say that it doesn't matter. It does. Absolutely race matters. So that can't just be a coincidence. I know a lot of people like to play mental gymnastics and say, well, it's not always about race. It could be experience. I just find it interesting that people always try to find any and everything to explain some sort of unfair advantage that everyone has over, say, black people, and say that, well, it's all in our heads or something else. But whenever there's something in the few things that we have going for us as far as advantage, then everyone cries the blues for everyone else. You know what I mean? I just find it interesting. Some of it might be the longer tenured employees may tend to be more white. Maybe that is skewing it somewhat. I can see the logic in that. But at the same time, let's not act like we don't live in this country. Let's not act like we don't see instances of racism all the time. Like I said, as a content creator on YouTube, which is owned by Google, I think any content creator will tell you that they've seen things that may, just in my opinion, you may deduce that racism is a determining factor that permeates through YouTube. I mean, think about it. Like I've done videos about Bill Russell, and I've talked to. First of all, I know you guys have seen me do videos on Bill Russell, and the video will be flagged for hate speech because Bill Russell was seen as a civil rights leader. So therefore, in their system, they see him as some sort of terrorist. I'm not lying. I am not lying. I've talked to people on Google support who thought Bill Russell was a terrorist. So, yeah. Just want to throw that in there. So anyway, tell me what you guys think.